Good evening, everyone, and welcome to This Is Not Legal Advice. I am your host, TINLA, on this fine November 5th, 2025. It is currently the supermoon in Taurus today, which is our second supermoon of 2025, and it is known as the beaver moon. So do with that what you will, but it is meant to usher in the fall and winter seasons. So I thought we would start with an animal tarot card to get a sense in this love reading of what the energy is between you, my beautiful viewers, and the person on your mind. So go ahead and think of the person who's on your mind right now, and let us see what the energy is between you. Thank you again for joining me. Please do like, share, and subscribe. It means a lot. Let's see, what is the energy between my viewer and the person on their mind on this fine Supermoon Wednesday? Woo, lots of energy, but we're not going to do that. This time we're not doing that. Very difficult person you're dealing with, it would seem. All right. I'm just going to take one. If it doesn't pop out, we're going to force the thing. Unicorn. So what's interesting is the unicorn card actually came out in my pre-shuffle. And I just think it's interesting that it showed up again. So let us find out what this unicorn energy is about. Obviously not a real creature, but let's see. So maybe you have a magical relationship with your person. All right, where is my unicorn? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, unicorn, reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago? The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity and encapsulates our wavering belief in the unicorn. We wonder what divinity is, we wonder where our intuition comes from, and if we can really trust it. We think about a higher power and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name? Is it just a feeling? The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to curiosity about the higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. The mind's eye knows there is something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn, and you have begun your quest for the answers. The unicorn is tied to the sixth chakra, which is, I believe, our intuition. But let's take a look. It says, it's no surprise the subtle essence of the unicorn card resides in the third eye, the exact place from which the unicorn's horn extends. This center is called the Ajna chakra, or command center. The ancient yogis believed it to be responsible for our intellect, intuition, and deepest wisdom. Some say our two eyes see the past and present, while the third eye peers into the future. So it seemed to me, in the context of love, dear viewer, that you are torn between your intuitive belief that you know what's going on, that what you have is real with this person, but maybe you're not so sure. So that's perhaps why you're here visiting with me today on This Is Not Legal Advice. All right, so we have this unicorn energy between you and the person in your mind. Let's go ahead and take a look at their energy. Since we are again in an animal moon cycle, I thought we'd pull another animal deck and to find out what their energy toward you is. What is the general energy of the person on my viewer's mind? Let's take a look. All right, we actually got a couple cards here. We have the Three of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. Okay, so in this deck we have, it looks like a little mouse mom and her mouse children here in our Three of Pentacles energy. As well, in our Five of Cups, we got what looks like either a kangaroo, I think it's a kangaroo or a jackalope, something like that, right there. Ooh, there we go. Sorry about the glare. And these two cards together, I mean, your Three of Pentacles is usually teamwork or working together for something, which is what this card demonstrates, you know, the little mice helping Mama Mouse there. And Five of Cups is usually an energy of, you know, regret or loss. Taking these together, it seems like this is somebody that you may work with, This is somebody that um, perhaps regrets that they didn't take a chance with you, that they could have worked together because we have the Three of Cups here. So these two threes, maybe they're rejecting or regretting that they turned away from their work with you, and instead kind of look toward this love with you with the Two of Cups here. But um, either way, you can see that this animal, this kangaroo looking thing, is not making a move. It is stagnant. It is just in deep contemplation, which I think takes us back to that unicorn card, where you're kind of stuck between, looking ahead to the future, again, with that third eye, and turning your back a little bit on the past, where maybe you worked with this person. Now, this is 35. Maybe you were 35 when you met. Maybe you're 35 now. Maybe you're 53. March 5th or May 3rd, maybe are significant dates to you or this person. Maybe, we have someone here who's a chef. Uh, take it as it resonates for you. All right, now let's take a look at how your person on your mind viewer sees you. How do they see you as we sit here today on this beautiful full moon Wednesday? How do they see you? Okay, we've got the Fool. Now, I know, the Fool. I don't think they see you as a fool. I think they see you as someone who's willing to take a chance, someone who's willing to be maybe a little more risky than they are. Maybe they're approaching things with you cautiously while they see you as like, hey, let's just go and do the thing. This is a frog here, happy looking frog, honestly, on the lily pad with a flower in one hand, or little amphibious thing, and almost like, hey, I'm gonna go off, I'm gonna maybe move in with you, or do something wild, and you're just like, wow, they're thinking maybe you're reckless, viewer. I don't know. I'm hearing reckless. I'm not saying you're reckless, but perhaps they view you as a little more reckless, or wild abandon, acting than they would be. So that's how they see you, but how do they feel about you? How does the person in your mind feel about you? Let's take a look. I think they're hiding their feelings toward you. Perhaps that's the anti-fool energy. All right, we've got the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands is one of the faster moving cards in the deck. The wands are symbolic of fire energy. That's your Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. This is an energy of action. It's an energy of passion. And it can be kind of a player energy. This is really interesting in this particular deck because we have here, well, I mean, it's a horse, right? Which is typical in your knight card, of course. But this one, doesn't have a rider, which is fascinating. The horse also has this one, like the wand here, of course, for the wand purposes. And it almost is similar in some ways to the unicorn card. So it makes me feel like this person is wanting to come toward you. They're facing in the direction of where I intend to place your cards. So, but without a rider on it, it makes me wonder, is there some level here of aimlessness? This person doesn't really know how they're going to get to you. There's no steering involved here. There's no direction other than to say toward you. So perhaps they haven't figured out quite yet how they are going to take these feelings of passion toward you to the next level. They just know they want to come this way. So I think your person definitely has feelings toward you, positive feelings, maybe passionate feelings, and they want to maybe do something about it, but they have to cross over this unicorn energy of like, is this real? Is this not real? To get to you. And again, I think they're a little bit lost in that. I'd like to know how they think you feel about them. Oh, okay. All right, we got a couple cards here. We got the Hermit. We've got the Three of Swords and the Three of Cups. All right, so they see you right now, viewer, as restrained to yourself. In some sense, they see you as this person taking a risk, but they think that you, person on my viewer's mind, are withdrawn. that you're hiding your feelings from them. They're looking at you saying, okay, maybe my person doesn't care. Maybe they're heartbroken, but also they want a reunion. So there's an energy here of, the person on your mind, viewer, thinking that you um, see them as cold and confused because, again, heartbreak versus reunion and celebration, and as such, just shutting down. What's interesting again here is we have the hermit also facing that direction toward you. So even if they're viewing your perception of them, I think that they intrinsically know that you know that they want to come toward you out of this heartbreak and into a reunion. And again, now we've got this 333 energy. So I'd like to take a look at that real quick in my numerology book. So bear with me. Threes are a very good energy. And I think it's more than coincidence, of course. We have 3-3. It indicates a world of possibilities at your fingertips, enthusiasm, bravery, and honesty, expressing yourself without fear or judgment, and remaining optimistic and throwing yourself into it. So, again, it says there's an overall energy here in throughout this, whether it's their feelings or how they perceive you feeling about them, um, an energy of positivity, of enthusiasm. So I think it's looking really good, although I would say it's a bit confused, a bit. I think this person's being very quiet because they don't know how to proceed, but the feeling is that they want to. They just don't know whether they can trust this feeling that they have, whether it's genuine or not. So let's take a look at your energy, viewer. Again, this is not legal advice, just how we're seeing things through our friends in the tarot. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If it speaks to you, then so be it. If it doesn't speak to you today, maybe it will tomorrow, next week, or whenever you find this reading. It is timeless. All right, viewer, how do you feel about the person on your mind? Well, you are just upfront about it. You have 8 of Cups. This is, let's see if we can get that in a picture. There you go. It is an energy of walking away, leaving something behind, moving on. Um, this is an empty room, as you can see, and they've left these cups here in these sort of bookshelf looking areas. The person looks like they packed up and they're moving forward. Interestingly enough, this person has a wand in his hand, so maybe he's leaving behind this idea of love in favor of passion and movement and not wanting to deal with it anymore. But again, as we talked about on this side, energy moving this way, this person here, viewer, you can see is facing toward, you are facing toward your person. So maybe it appears, generally speaking, that you want to move on or are moving on. You're still walking this direction toward them, taking action toward them or wanting to, while looking back at the love that you had. So I think you're trying to give the impression that you're moving on, uh, but I don't think you really are. And I'm being told to look at the bottom of the deck. We have the Seven of Swords. Okay, this goes right to what I was saying. Seven of Swords is an energy of things that are hidden. It's an energy of deception or dishonesty. And I'm not suggesting that you're a liar or anything like that, but I think it goes hand in hand with this thing you're trying to portray to the world, this falseness of, hey, I'm trying to show the world that I'm moving on, but really in moving on, you're moving toward them and missing them. And you can see in this case, the individual is dropping a book here. So it's almost like the mask is slipping a little bit on that. All right, let's take a look at how you see the person on your mind. How do you see them in truth? If you could be honest, how do you really see them? How do you see them? I mean, figuratively see them, because they might not live near you and maybe you haven't physically seen them in a minute, but how do you actually envision them or perceive them? Let's take a look. Oh, there we go. All right, we have Seven of Wands, another 7 energy here. Seven of Wands is someone who has boundaries up, walls up. This person's back is turned to us, the observer. And so this says to me that you are viewing your person as defensive, as guarded, as keeping you at a distance. Perhaps you feel like they've turned their back on you. And maybe that's why you feel like you want to portray that you've done the same thing and turned your back on them. How do you think that they feel about you? What is your perception of how you think they feel about you? All right, we've got Temperance. Okay, so this, I think that you think, again, you see them as being aloof, you see them as being withdrawn and quiet, but I think that you think that in truth, underneath it all, they actually are facing toward you. They actually are wanting this sort of infinity forever with you. They are wanting to balance things out with these two cups of love, you know. And it's, by the way, it's Sagittarius energy in addition to being, this energy of equality and balance and peace. I think that you think that at some level they feel like they want to make things right with you, to come to a place of peace and resolution and perhaps some form of reunion in the long term. And bottom of the deck we have Page of Wands. This is another card of action with that Wands energy. Sometimes this can be considered like a player as well, like the Knight of Wands issue we had earlier. This person is somebody who has a lot of passion for you, and I think that you feel that. You can feel the heat coming off of them and the desire to rekindle something. All right, how do you think that they feel about you? We talked about how you think they feel, but how is it that you think they feel about you? Let's take a look. What do you perceive their feelings? The Devil. The Devil. I think that they think, I think that they think let me go back a second. It's complicated. You, the viewer, think that the person that you are thinking about perceives you as someone who is obsessed with them. Someone who has an undying affection for them, that they are just the biggest, baddest thing that there is. I'm not saying that they actually see themselves that way or that you see yourself that way, but perhaps they feel like you have really built them up in your mind in this way that is, dominant and something more maybe than they feel like they really are. So maybe they're feeling a little bit insecure because they think that you you just think too much of them. Bottom of the deck, we have Ten of Cups. I think that they also see that or believe that you think they want forever with you. And that may very well be the case. You may want forever with this person. So let us go now to what the action is, the most likely action based on where we are. So what is the most likely action to take place between you and the person on your mind? Well, perhaps a falling out. Maybe a falling out has happened. That is in the past. But let's get 3 cards to find out what the likely action is going to be. Of course, everybody has free will. I'm not saying this is absolutely going to happen. It's not legal advice, that's for sure. But what is the likely action? 3 cards for my viewers, please. Likely action. What is the likely action? Okay, we're going to go with this. We've got the 4 of Pentacles, Page of Wands again, and 7 of Cups. So 4 of Pentacles is an energy of holding on, not letting go. So the action here appears to be, not willing to let go. This is somebody, this is a magician deck, so it makes sense. The person is wearing a magician hat, but perhaps this person is trying to, in like a Rumpelstiltskin kind of way, trying to manufacture gold out of something else, like in an alchemical way. Trying to turn something turning a bad situation into a good one, and being unwilling to let go of that idea that it is possible. Again, we have our Page of Wands. This is coming forward with a offer of passion. You know, I can see here like a booty call, maybe. One of you calling the other, confessing some kind of ongoing desire toward the other. Given the direction this person is facing, it appears that you might be inclined to call the person on your mind and say, hey, I know it looks like I'm moving on, but the reality is I'd like to hang out soon. And this person over here, this action, is an action of, yeah, it's a Seven of Cups, which is choices and confusion. So I think that there's still a lot of lack of clarity in terms of how, you know, you all want to proceed. Like, what is the next action? What do we do here? Like, we're passionate about each other. We don't want to let each other go. What do we do? So I think there's, again, a lot of this back and forth, which ties us back to that unicorn energy at the beginning. You know, is it real? Is it not real? Do we trust the intuition? Do we not trust the intuition? Let's take a look real quick at the outcome. I'm going to start with the desired outcome of your person, your desired outcome, and then the overall outcome. And of course, outcomes are totally changeable based on the actions that are actually taken, and any number of factors that can change between now and when this occurs. Let's take a look. What is the person on my viewer's mind? What is their desired outcome with my viewer? What is the desired outcome? What is the desired outcome? One more. Okay, it is Queen of Pentacles. And your desired outcome, viewer, is Ten of Wands. And the overall outcome is the Hermit. We're back to the Hermit. Okay, so I also want to point out Ace of Cups, bottom of the deck, which is an overflowing of love. And I want to take this together because the Queen of Pentacles, you know, she's got her stuff together. Look at this face. She is, you know, all about business. She's not worried about anybody else. I think this person's outcome here is they're looking for stability. They're looking for calm. They maybe are, you know, kind of antithetical to the Fool energy. They want, you know, peace, stability, quiet, careful decision making, not this sort of let's just take a leap thing. So I think their desired outcome is let's get settled, let's figure this out, let's get through this confusion and come to some kind of conclusion that is stable. And on your side, I don't want to say your desired outcome, but you know, this person, again, Ten of Wands is usually like, oh, look at this burden I have to carry. In this deck, this person doesn't look like he's carrying a real burden. I mean, there are a lot of wands there, but it could also be carrying a lot of passion. And he actually looks happy carrying them. There are jewels on these wands, so you know, perhaps he's living his best life. You know, he's working hard, but he's living the best life here and seeing beautiful things. I kind of feel like that's Snow White, like the little dwarves that go in and they mine for their jewels, like they're singing, they're happy. Like I think what you really would want here, viewer, is an abundance of happiness and beauty and joy. And it's interesting that it comes next to our prior deck, that Seven of Wands. Very similar energy here. These kind of rainbow looking, um, um, I don't know, pieces. And again, they're both wands energy, so they're action energy. So you're, you know, you believe that they see you as someone, or excuse me, you see them as someone who's guarded, but you're also seeing them as maybe somebody who wants to transmit these wands to you to give you these beautiful things. And meanwhile, I think they're over here just kind of grappling with reality. And taking that with the Hermit, again, we're back here, you know, your person, you know, they were thinking you were feeling this way, and I think they're kind of manifesting that. They're saying, let's go back to our respective corners. The outcome here is we're all going to go back to our respective corners, and I'm going to figure out my stuff here. You're going to be over here fantasizing about how great things can be. And this person does, if you look, again, we got the Hermit, that is, and by that's Virgo energy, so you could be a Virgo, they could be a Virgo. But this person, again, facing your direction, So the outcome is, this person offering almost this fire toward you, viewer, but only after coming to um, his or her own conclusion and really working through this. Is this real energy? Um, and I don't think it's a bad thing, by the way, to take time and decide to be stable and get clarity. I really don't think that's the case. I also think that behind this hermit, we had this Ace of Cups, which is the overflowing of love. So I think once your person feels stable in the outcome, they are ready to come forward, offering you that passion, offering you these joyous things, offering you an outpouring of love. And Two of Pentacles, they're ready to balance things out. They're ready to make things fair, square, and even. So I think that's a really great outcome. I'm excited for you on that one. All right, the next thing I want to look at here really quick is the advice. So in order to get the outcomes that each of you wants, we're going to get just a couple cards on advice. What is the advice for the person on my viewer's mind? What is the advice? These teeny tiny cards. All right, the advice here is step back. Okay, so we're going to read about that in a second. And the advice for you is karmic relationship with some beautiful owls on there. And let's see what this means in this deck. So for your person with step back, it says, this is your sign to, guess what, step back, take some deep breaths and add a buffer of safe space so you can get some perspective on the situation. A little time and distance are your friends. And this ties again, we're talking hermit energy, getting clarity and stability, wanting to really look toward the future slowly, steadily, working together, getting out of that confused energy. So, that advice here for them is, take a step back. And maybe that's what they've done. Maybe that's why there's some confusion here and you're visiting with me. For you with karmic relationship, sorry, it's an owl and it looks like a crow or a raven. It says here, you have known each other before and you will know each other again. Whether you were brothers, lovers, friends, or enemies in a past life, the cycle repeats and you return to each other over and over again. Who you will be to one another in this life is yet to be seen. Just know you were fated to meet. So I think that you do, viewer, think that this is, or feel that this relationship is more than just, a casual situation. And I'm also seeing how in this card, obviously, I just mentioned we have the owl and we have the raven or crow here, obviously different species of birds. So perhaps there's big differences between the two of you on the outside. At the core, you're both birds, right? You're the same in a lot of ways, but you are different. And perhaps from the outside, people would say, like, why would you guys be together? You're totally, totally different. But there's something special between you, and perhaps only the two of you can see that. So I'm hearing, like, keep the faith, like only you know what's best for you, what's right for you. So don't give up with that Four of Pentacles. Don't let things go. Live your life by all means. Figure your things out, work your job, do what you got to do, take care of your family, but don't give up is what I'm hearing, because there is something here and I think you know it. So that being said, let us just do one more thing, which is to get some love oracles to see what your person would say to you if they were here now and they were being truthful. So let's see. Let's get some cards. We'll just see how many come out. Spirit, please tell us, what would the person on my viewer's mind say if they were being honest and they were here right now? Thank you again for liking, subscribing, sharing, hanging out, getting out there, charging all your crystals and whatnot in this beautiful full moon energy. We'll go through one more time. Nothing else? Anything else? Last chance. Last chance. There we go. Oh, and this one flipped too. All right, so let's see what one just fell out of my hand on the floor, because it wouldn't be a reading if things didn't fall on the floor, and actually it was two of them. So we will start with these. What would your person say if they were being honest today? What would the person say? All right. Do you love me the way I love you? I want you. Our love will never cease to exist. I miss you, but I don't have time right now. And actually, I'm going to kind of match this up here. I think this follows, I miss you, but I don't have time right now. They're sorting themselves out. Do you love me the way I love you? That's kind of in our unicorn energy of I don't really know what's happening right now. Our love will never cease to exist. That's that karmic. I want you. That's our passion here with that page of wands. We've also got my love for you is stronger than ever, which I'm taking as being up here by our hermit, because once we come out of this energy and your person is ready, I think that's going to be very evident. Okay, we've got a couple more here. I need some more time before I can come to you. This is back in our hermit energy down here. Again, we talked about this, this person needing time to get stable. I dream about you at night. This is that sort of fantasy energy that we had going on, more sort of unicorn going on, and all the energy really comes down to this. I dream about you at night. I wish we could be together forever. Going with the temperance infinity sign on that one. I love you so much. Another I love you card. Again, this is just general energy. And we've been together for lifetimes, back to our karmic. So that is the message today. If you were looking for how your person feels about you, this is what we've got going on. I think it bodes well. I think the message is be patient. The feelings are there. The passion is there. Maybe you're the kind of person who takes a chance and they're the kind of person who needs a little bit more stability. But that does not mean that there is not something good coming towards you. Just, hold tight. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy the beautiful full moon.